the course is still closed, so that means one thing. It's time for a lesson. So we're here for my first lesson in a little while. This is Emma, or the lady golf coach. I'll put a little card up here so you can see who she is. Sorry, I didn't mean to point in front of your face there. So today we're going to look at how we're getting on, what my game's got from, and where it's going. We'll see how we get on. We'll hit a few balls first, and then we'll see where we have to go after that. Anything from you?
No, we're just going to let it rock. See how we get on.
Let's see where we go then. What club do you want me to use first?
Have you got any clubs at the moment that you're not a fan of? Like that you haven't been hitting that well? Or no, you're just feeling good with
my woods are a little bit toey.
Okay.
And then I get a random heely one, but the toey ones seem to be the issue. Okay. But then I actually still get a really good distance out of it.
Well, should we just hit some sevens or something to warm up
with?
with?
Let's go sevens, yeah.
So what are we aiming for?
7-9 to start with first. Straight over the 200?
Straight over the 200, that should be fair. Love it.
It's a little bit out of the bottom groove. It's
okay.
We'll take it for a first one.
We'll just hit a few more to warm up with, okay?
Yeah. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible.
It's okay. So have you been doing many of those? Or?
No.
Okay.
Not with my irons, definitely not.
Okay.
My irons seem to be there or thereabouts, but we'll put that down to a little bit. I thought I kept hitting cuts, but it's not. It's the wind, isn't it?
Yeah, there is a lot of wind out there, and that's the big I think people need to remember this winter. Is if they go to driving ranges and they're hitting balls, they need to take into account the wind for sure. I saw your Instagram post yesterday actually, talking about cold and all that sort of thing, and I noticed a massive difference. What? How much yardage extra do you reckon, or less? It's a bit weird for me because I'm trying to control my swing a little bit more to try and swing within myself, but it's got to be about 15-20 yards easy. See, that's crazy. So I can hit one full as hard as I can. Yeah. Say a 7-iron, for example, and in the summer I'll be hitting 200, 205 easy. Yeah. But at the moment, it's about, if I want to go full out at it, full out at it. Full I'll take full out at it. It's probably about 180-ish, and that's not down to me. That's down to the cold, definitely. Yeah, and that's what people have to take on board for sure. Yeah. Terrible. I need to let go of the club. Delete that one. Delete that. Delete that from your brain. Yes. Cool. Feeling alright? Yeah, feeling okay. Okay. A few bad ones. So we just had a quick conversation about my bad shots. They've actually got a lot better. So my how bad you're bad is kind of improved lots, if that makes sense. So they're in the parameters of being still on the course rather than just on the whole. Yeah, still on the planet. So we're going to go from 7-iron upper club, or how many clubs? We're going to go up a couple of clubs because you said fairway woods are the start where we start changing the strike patterns. So we're going to go up a couple of clubs and then go from there. Okay, let's go for it. So she stitched me up. We're going with a 2-iron. I'm not feeling very confident with this one at the moment, so let's give it a go. But the good thing is it will show up on stuff like this if we're not. Well, the problem is I don't actually use it at the moment. I don't need to use it. Right. Well, I say I don't need to. I just avoid it. So when we talked about it, we were talking the longer clubs to get a little bit toey. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think what we've worked on in the past in terms of getting your bottom half moving? Yeah. That's still the odd one. Is the kind of straightening up through impact. And I do think there's a lot to be said for the ground conditions. So if you think if your body wants to stay still, your body doesn't want to jump around in this. So it's easier for your body to potentially do this and try and grab onto the ground than it is to rotate. I'd actually say that's really true, because the bad shots of it on the course is when the ground's so slippy that I'm clinging on with my toes for dear life to try and
make a consistent
Have you
swing.
felt like it in your calves and stuff as well? Like real tension? Or, I guess being a rugby boy, that's not
yeah.
You're like, no.
No, my calves don't. I don't struggle with my calves.
Yeah.
But my lower back sometimes.
If you get the tension.
Really trying to get up. If that makes sense. Not calves so much. Well,
yeah. Look at those.
The calves.
Just those Phil Mickelson bad boys. But yeah, so that's all I would say is potentially this weather at the moment. There is a lot of people struggling with body turn because they're not getting enough like ground force.
Yeah.
The ground is so minging. Okay,
yeah.
That's the technical term.
Minging.
Minging.
Minging, mate.
Right, a couple more then. How did that swing feel? Forget the flight. How did that feel?
It felt okay.
Yeah.
But when I made contact, it felt like I caught up on the mat afterwards, so I was kind of forcing the follow through.
Better. Look at your follow through. Look at your finish position.
Felt better.
There's your Shakira hips.
Shakira.
Shot. That's better. So you feel alright with these?
Yeah. So the 2-iron went okay. I'd probably say 1 bad shot, 2 bad shots.
It. I don't think there was a lot.
And I think the rest is my hips again, old school. We were just briefly talking about the rugby element of what I do. A bit of a walk-in hazard, if I'm honest.
You are?
Yeah, I am. No right shoulder left, no knees left. Ribs popping in and out, left, right and centre. So I'm a bit of a walking disaster zone. So mobility is always going to be a bit of an issue.
And we also, just as a quickie, the ground at the moment, where it's so wet and mushy, you'll get a lot of people clinging on for dear life with their feet, not their fingers.
And that's what I do a lot
and that's
of
what I think that's sometimes what happens is, so Ben's feet get stuck and then he can't rotate, and so he has to lift, and that's a
might have something to do with me being a bit of a lump, but we'll think about that a bit later on.
So you were saying predominantly with your fairway woods and driver, you're hitting a little bit off the toe.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's the
biggie.
The common theme.
Okay. Now, if you remember what you're saying about your body, so setup looks loads better. You're not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So setup looks loads better. You get to the top, but it's this scenario that where we're trying to get your hips turning, we end up doing this. And so what ends up happening is this club comes into us and down, which makes it hit more off the toe.
Yeah, that makes obvious sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you, especially at the ground conditions at the moment, you might get covered with a little bit of mud. But if you don't get covered with mud and you lift more, you're going to top a few, but definitely more off the toe.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you're kind of your body's trying to compensate for that, that's when you're going to hit the odd strike shot. But that's just you reacting to it. So I do think it is less of that and more.
No, less of that and more of the other one.
So that's what. Less of that, more of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. If we can aim, see the I know it sounds really thick. The green trees at the distance, the ones that look like.
What green trees in the distance, huh?
The ones that look like Christmas trees. Those.
Sort of in the middle of the.
Those pups over there. It looks like a little bit of a bent Christmas tree.
Okay.
Okay.
I got it.
Got it.
And if it goes the wrong way, I can go, oh, that's
yeah, no, that Christmas tree. Somewhere over there.
That was out the middle.
Wow. That is a beaut flight.
I think that was a little bit more.
A little bit over the top.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, again.
Didn't quite feel right.
Yeah. If you think in terms of that wind, honestly, those clouds now are like hammering it. So anything that's slightly over the top or anything that's slightly open is going to be multiplied with that. Sounded better. So, have any come out the toe?
Just that one. I felt a little bit toe the
one that went.
One.
Yeah.
Other than that, no.
Ooh, okay.
Fixed it.
Fixed
Completed
it. Fixed it. Sorted.
the good thing is, Ben, we did all the hard work at the start of, well, the end of last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, your swing has changed massively in 8 months.
So we're coming into my prime.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrible.
That's the jumpy one.
Yeah,
that was a
terrible.
proper jump.
That's
on
old
that
school
one.
Benji.
Okay.
Felt like I was off balance all the way.
But that's been your weirdest one so far.
I was literally on my toes,
Yeah.
clinging on for dear life.
Okay. I almost just fell over then.
Huh?
I almost just fell over.
That was outside.
So when you re-watch this video, you'll see the ones that you kind of jump at a little bit.
Is that a jumpy one?
It's a little bit jumpy. So your energy kind of ends up going through your toes instead of...
And I had that little slip.
Yeah. Sounded better? So Ben is a little bit of a perfectionist, you will find.
Possibly OCD, maybe?
A little bit OCD-ish, but you have got better with it, haven't you?
I'm trying.
He doesn't have any more what we call bitch fits.
It's a child-friendly channel. I don't know what you're on
Sorry,
about.
he doesn't have any wobbles. So you've got to give yourself a bit of a break, Ben, sometimes. So that last one, the sound was on it. It's just your club face was probably a little bit open, that was all.
Okay.
We're on it.
That's the best one of it.
You hit like that, I'd take weird feeling.
That's the best one of it. Try and do that one again.
So in your head, what does it feel like? What are you trying to do?
I'm literally trying to turn my hands over.
Okay.
Loads, but I know I don't do that on my swing, it's just pre-shot. Stand up a little bit more, if that makes sense. Because then I don't feel like I have to jump.
Okay.
So it's keeping me...
Just make sure you don't then just get too rigid at your top half, okay?
Yeah.
What? Yes, Benjamin.
It's alright.
That's alright. So it's getting the bottom half's got to move again because you can't work on a release. Well, you can, but it'll just go anywhere. Whereas if your body is turning through it, then it's easier to get this working. Whereas if you do this, you
Don't have to do that. So much sticks out far enough as it is.
my back.
So we are coming to the end of the lesson. Well, just come to the end of the lesson actually. And for me, I felt like it went really, really well. Emma, what do you think?
Double thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thought buy you a couple at the end. That and
Don't want to talk about those.
No, we're not talking about that. I thought you understand you so much better now.
Yeah.
And I think it's just really good working with Ben because we just talk about it and then you get on with it, don't you?
Well, yeah, I'm a bit
So,
obsessed with it. OCD, everything to the max. So, if I had to take two things away from today, what do you think they should be?
Still working on exactly the same thing we talked about leg-wise.
Yeah.
And also expectations for winter.
Yeah.
I think you hit some really good shots out there and don't take into account the wind. I think that's the biggie. Winter is very different to summer, so you have to think about that.
Yeah, I will. Okay.
Yeah, really
So, getting my hands to turn over a little bit more, hips through, and then expectations as well, I suppose.
Exactly.
But other than that, we'll have another lesson when? A couple of weeks, maybe?
yeah.
So you'll check in with us then. Like I said before, we'll put in the Lady Golf Coach card in the top so you can have a link through to her lesson with me from her point of view, where it's a little bit more technical rather than me just gabbling on about a load of rubbish.
Not too technical. We don't
But you can have a little look there. But for now, thank you very much. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Take care.